Hello everybody and welcome back to another Space Engineers video. So everyone really seemed to enjoy the last building tutorial we did. So we did a tutorial on a little hydrogen mining ship here. I'm just going to turn that antenna off because it's going to get on my tits. So what I wanted to do today, what I thought could be a cool thing to go forward with, is actually do a sort of carrier for this, like a little expedition vehicle that you can take out, and then you can deploy this miner to gather up some ore, dock back to this vehicle, have it all refined and processed, etc. So when you get back to base, you've got a load of ore. It also means that if you're heading out on an adventure to go find some ore, you don't have to come all the way back to base to drop off your payload. You can drop it off at a bigger ship and then fill that ship up with multiple mining runs, and then take the whole ship plus the miner back to the base with a load of ore. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm not going to lie, I've got no clue what we're going to be building here today. This is less of a tutorial than the last one, and more just we're going to be building and seeing what happens. So the first thing that we're going to need to be doing is carrying the miner, obviously, right? So we're going to need to hold a miner, so we're going to need a landing pad. So I think 3x3 should be adequate. I'm just going to test it real quick. Shimmy this thing over here. Let's have a little bit of a look if 3x3 will do. So yeah, 3x3 will do nicely. Now obviously we made the design choice last episode to put the connector on the back, but that's not going to be a problem. I've already thought of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a landing pad that doesn't have a connector, but we're going to have a connector on the side of the ship to dock your ship to here and drop off all the ores. Now this is actually going to make it easier in theory, because you can quickly dock to like a boom arm, drop your ore off, and then go back to mining. You don't have to come, down, align yourself up with the pad, land on the pad, take off and go. It's going to be a little bit faster. It could be an idea, in all honesty, to have a connector on the bottom, but that's not what we have. Okay, and this is what we're working with. So I'm going to look at making it probably about that big, so I don't want it to be massive. It's just like a little bit of an expedition vehicle. Obviously we're going to go with the cock and ball styling, because there is truly no other way in SE, and we're also going to think about like thruster placement and stuff like that. So I think I'm actually going to drop it down one and bring it out one again, something like that. Maybe just bring it out one. We'll see what happens. So first thing I'm going to do, and I advise that you all do this when you're building large grids, place a block with a control panel, go to info and click convert to station. Now basically, if you accidentally chop it in half like this is a pretty graphic scene, you can place a block and rejoin the two halves. You don't have to cut and paste bits of the ship back together, which will help you no end while you're building ships in creative mode. So that is something I recommend you do. You can thank me later, because that is going to save you a hell of a lot of time. I know, God knows it's saved my ass a lot of times. So we're also going to look adding a little bit of shape to this thing. So we're going to have 5 blocks coming there, then I want a 3-block gap, and then we're going to have another 5 blocks like that. And then in this gap is where I'm going to have the docking arms for the mining ship. And then we're going to have the landing pad at the back. I might push it out another block. And then we're going to have some nacelles coming off these pods, these struts here, I think. We'll have to see how it turns out. It's very much, especially when I'm building large grids, it's very much a play it by ear scenario. See what happens, and just sort of work with it. But you'll get to see my process and how I'm sort of thinking about things as I'm building. So I'm going to be making it probably primarily from the half slopes. It's not a warship, right? So it doesn't need a massive amount of armor or anything like that. So I think we can get away with just having these struts and having it quite lightly armoured, really. But like I say, it's not a warship, so that's not something that's absolutely necessary. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this bottom bit down here as conveyor piping. And then we're going to have a living area up here. Living, quote unquote, because this is going to be a mining barge style thing. So, yeah. I'm going to slap a conveyor there, get rid of these blocks, and then we're going to stick out some of these. We're going to pop in one of those. Get some hydrogen tanks going here. We probably will make it too high actually, just so we can propel this thing on a little bit more quickly. Put another conveyor up here, and then this is also going to give us perfect placement for our thrusters. So might go with the industrial, might not, I don't know. I'm tempted to keep these videos vanilla, but there might be some situations where I can't do that, and we're just going to have to play it by ear. So there's a pretty neat thruster pack. That covers thrust in literally every single direction, so that's cool. Now, it's a mining ship, right? We want good visibility. That's something that's really, really high up there on the list of things that we need. We need to be able to see ores clearly. We need to be able to see like asteroids, obviously, because we don't want to smash into them, because this thing's going to be hauling quite a lot of mass. So I swear there's a block for this. Keen, please. There's got to be a block. There's got to be a block for this. There's got to be some. There's got to be a block. There's got to be a block. No, that's not the same though. It does work. Well, maybe we'll find a block for it later on and give it a curve at the front as well. So that's going to be pretty good. It's not brilliant though. I mean, in fact, what we could actually do is if we connect these. This isn't something I want to do across the whole ship. How do I want to do this? Hang on, let me have a think here. Maybe something like that. It's purely aesthetic, obviously. This is not needed. But I feel like that works. It is so hot in the UK right now. God damn. I don't like it. And we're going to cover that bit up there. Yeah, so I feel like if we do something like that, and then we cut that out, could actually have quite an open cockpit. Could even do something like that. And then if we get the window blocks, we probably want the bridge windows. I know I said no DLC. Are these DLC? Oh man, that ain't right. Something about that ain't right. I don't know. We can have a bridge like that. That's just the Minecraft villager sound. That is a tricky one. That is a really tricky one. Then again, I don't actually know if this is airtight or not. I don't think it is airtight. I feel like that kind of ruins the rest of the style anyway, because the rest of it's like very uniform, and you still get good visibility out of that. So I don't think that's a bad thing. What I might do though is bring this bit back like that, and then I might do the same on this side here. Something like that. And if we have the large cargo container here, sort of looks like it's clamped in-ish. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a madman, but you know, that's at least what it looks like to me. Right, it looks like it's being held in there. And then we can do the conveyor pipes, tubes, whatever you want to call these things. And then we do another one. Like that. And we come over here. We do another one. There you go, and it kind of looks like it's carrying the ores, quote unquote. Yeah, I think it works. So, yeah, the only problem is now is how are we going to route the conveyors up? Because I don't really want to do... Could have a dock at the front, actually. Actually, yeah, because if we're going to dock to a station, we're probably going to want to be docking at the front, right? Actually, it makes more sense to dock to the side. Let's see what we can do here. We might be able to do a T-junction, like that. And then just a regular conveyed block like that. Another one. And a connector. And I kind of want to sort of make it slope in a little bit here so it looks more like an entrance. I don't want to dolly it up too much, but I want to make it more... I feel like we could do that by just doing this. That would hit the thrusters though. Well, the thrusters... I don't think they would hit it. But I think that works anyway. Like, I think that works fine. And then we'd have a door. Obviously, we need to get into the ship. Put the door inset like that. And then we can have a door here. We can also have a door here. So we've got quite a bit of room to play with. This is like the central, quote-unquote, airlock area. And we've got the rest of the room to play with here. So let's get some interior blocks just to fill in some of the spaces next to the doors. And then it's probably best actually if we have windows here. I kind of want some natural light to come in. We could have sloped windows. Does that work? I feel like it kind of works. I do. I feel like it kind of works. Right, cool. So that's like the airlock. Then we need some ventilation. So I'm just going to stick a vent here. I think. I mean, it'd be good to get some cargo access actually. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's see if we can get some cargo access in here. Just makes it easier to, you know, grab things quickly if you don't have to go outside the ship. So we could potentially put that there. And then we could have the vent for the ship. Let me have a think here. Don't really want it sticking out. No, I can't do that because that's exposed. Have it like that. Have the flight seat there. You can still walk around, and then you've got the cargo access right there. Okay, cool. And then I'm probably going to throw on some windows here, just so it doesn't feel as much like a prison. Throw on some windows on the side. Cool, cool, cool. So that's pretty much, you know, that's good. So we've got a landing pad here. And then out here, it's not actually inside the ship. Could make it an interior, but yeah, you know, I don't feel like it's massively important to have like a pressurized interior on a ship like this. So what I think we should actually do is probably route up a survival kit. So let's pipe a survival kit up here. Let's figure out the best way to do that first. So we've got piping down here. Obviously this needs to connect to that. We've got piping here down the middle. So the best way to do that might be to get some conveyoring from here. Obviously this is the most efficient way to do this, but it'll work. We have a survival kit. We could make it interior, actually, that could work. Let's have a look here. I think you guys see what I mean now by playing it by ear. Because if we make it interior, we could make it... we could then get rid of this. Like that. And then we can stick the cargo access right next to there. And obviously we need an entrance. We'll do that there. And then you've got the landing pad for the ship on the back. Works for me. And then we can have living quarters over here. We will need a vent. Unfortunately, there's not really any way around that. Stick it here for now. Until I can come up with something. That's what we're going to do. Put some catwalks here. I'm just going to grind them down so the air can get through. Like that. Pretty simple. Pretty nice interior. We won't need a door there, so we're going to put a passage instead. That'll obviously be a door because you need to get into the ship. And the ship's not that big, so I don't need to... Well, I'm not going to bother adding an airlock or anything like that. You know, you can vent the ship and you're not going to lose a whole lot, really, so... That's what we're going to go with. I kind of don't want it to taper in at the end. I want it to taper off, right? So I'm going to do that, but that might change. We'll see. A lot of things have changed already, so we'll see what happens. Oh, my symmetry's not on. Oops. Yeah, so it's coming together pretty nicely. I think it's looking like a fairly decent ship at the moment. So we're going to have a bed over here. We'll just pop it. Just pop it like there. And then we'll have a bathroom as well. So you can do and poo. I know I said no DLC, but I mean, what am I supposed to do there, really? I could put a passenger seat there. And I would probably just put a viewport. I like viewports, but maybe a full window would be better. Like that. So you can gaze at the stars while taking a dookie. Cool, so you got cargo access, you got your survival kit, we have a vent, we have the flight seat, you got your airlocks, you got your living quarters, pretty much everything you need. I might put a window here as well. You're not going to be able to see out of it, obviously, but it shows a little bit of greeble. I don't know, it kind of keeps that symmetry. So, yeah, going back to here, I do kind of want to keep the whole flow of the ship going. So, we do something like this, and then if we can, I don't know if there's a block for it. It's not quite right. It's not quite right. It feels way too front heavy now. Way too front heavy. So what we're going to do about that? Well, we're going to balance it off. So we're going to make the back bigger. Now this is purely aesthetic speaking now. I think this video has devolved into me rambling, but it's also a good way for you to see how my brain works while I'm building. So what I mean by the front heavy is there's a lot going on here, and then this is like a 1 block wide pad. So if we make the back, you know, heavier, and it sort of achieves a better look on the eye, you know, it makes it easier to look at, right? So we're gonna do that by doing this. We're gonna bump out the arse. That might work. You see, it's all about experiment. Don't be afraid to get things wrong, okay? Don't be afraid to try new things. I definitely recommend building in creative first, like, you know, when you're just starting off and you're trying to get like your mojo, and then later on you'll be able to build in survival. Like, I've not had to have too many takes of building this thing, right? But, you know, obviously I'm still making changes, so I'm thinking of doing something like that just to keep the sides open a little bit. And it also just makes it look like a more complete ship. Obviously we need to fill in this side as well, but I wanted to just make sure that it looked okay before I started doing anything. Throwing the curves. So a tip that was in my video that I made a lifetime ago now about shipbuilding is from Aragath, and he said to pick basically he said you pick 3 colours, 3 main colours for a ship, and you stick with those 3 colours, okay? So we use yellow, white and grey for our ships, well, for that one. But he also said to do the same, and I thought it was very interesting, with shapes. So throughout this ship, we've been using the half slopes a lot, we've been using these, whatever they're called, and we've been using round blocks as well. So that's what I'm thinking about using when I'm thinking of building the rest of the ship. I'm thinking, how can I use those blocks in a way that flows with the rest of the ship? I mean, you can already see just by looking at it how much better it looks. It doesn't look off balance anymore. It's got a more complete arse, so it actually looks, you know, like a ship, whereas before it just looked like the front of a ship, and then the back it looked like it was cut off or something, right? It didn't look like it was part of the ship. So by making the back quote unquote heavier and placing more blocks there, we've actually made the ship flow a lot better. So I'm gonna do this. I don't know why I'm doing this bit, but obviously it's not, you know, I mean, Luca is just gonna have a fucking seizure if they saw that, but I think it looks cool. Kind of looks like a cooling vent on the side of the ship, you know what I'm saying? And then those round blocks, the reason I put them there is because they've just got a really nice front profile. Like, if you look at this from the front, it looks like it's got round, sleek nacelles, and then you see the side of it, but, you know, it sort of works itself out. And then, in keeping with the theme we had on the other ship, I might do like a thruster cowling-esque arrangement here, or something like this. Unfortunately, there's no block for these. I know, it sucks. So we got a choice. We can do this, which is a bit much. I'll admit it's a bit much. Or we could do. Let's have a think here. No, that won't work either. That'll work. That's a tricky one. Yeah, that works. It works pretty nice, actually. Okay, cool. Cool. So that's the thruster pack. All sorted out. Got ourselves the landing pad. Now, we're going to add some gear. So, obviously, you want to be able to refine the ores, etc, etc. This is an early game mining vessels, so we're just going to have the basic refineries. They've got conveyor ports on both of the sides, so we're going to have 2 of them, and then a perfect thing for there is a O2 generator. Lines up very nicely. We could even have another one there as well, just for the sake of it. And then, as it happens, an antenna looks pretty at home right there, and that covers up those disgusting conveyor ports. So remember the shape, we're using that block a lot, so I'm going to use that again. And I'm going to do something like that to wrap the antenna in. I don't really want to, you know, give it too many smooth edges. I kind of want it to be rough. You know what I mean? It's like a, it's a mining ship. At the end of the day, right? It's a mining ship. But we want to give it some armor. So something like that, just to fill out the belly of the beast a little bit more. Don't ask me what we're gonna do at the front because I haven't got a fucking clue. We'll come up with something at the front and it'll look brilliant, but I just don't know what yet. Ooh! When in doubt, blast doors. Right, this is a key part of life. Fantastic. Fantastic. When in doubt, blast doors. And then actually there, put a camera. Et voila. You can see everything. Okay, cool. So what else might we want before we start making it look pretty? So we've got every axis of thrust. We're going to need some gyroscopes. But I've already got a place in mind for those gyros. Probably just slap them there like that. We need a gravity generator. So the center of the ship is roughly there, so I think that's the best spot for it. So I'm going to slap a gravity generator there. Yep, it's on the outside, I know. We're also going to need a power source, so that's just batteries, which are pretty easy to throw all over the place, really. But we don't need that many. I don't want to make it a very resource-intensive ship. So we've got nothing going on up here. We'll stick a couple batteries there. There's probably going to be holes all over this ship where we can stick stuff. Oh man, why the fuck did I say that? Alright, goddamn. Yeah, to pretend I didn't say that. So we're going to pop a battery. Why did I say that, man? Pop a battery there as well. So that's plenty of batteries. And then for power, we could do a couple things. We could do hydrogen engines, which are probably the best, or we could do reactors, we could do solar panels, so there's a little bit to play with there. I like the idea of an engine, actually. I like the idea of that. The question is where we would put said engine. So that O2 generator is actually redundant, right? So if we put a conveyor pipe, hang on a minute, put a conveyor pipe there, junction, engine. Oh, that's going to show it's. No, I don't like that. Okay, we'll do it the other way around. Do that. Then we just need a corner, actually, don't we? It's going to be a bit off, but oh well. And then we can fix that by doing that. And symmetry isn't on. Let's go. There you go. So you got your two engines revving up there. You got your gravity generator, you got your gyros, you got your batteries. Let's head inside. All is looking good. We can probably set it to a ship now. Let's give it a bit of a whirl. Turns okay. Pretty decent thrust. Obviously, this is built in mind that it's going to be carrying 3 large cargo containers worth of ore, so it's going to get pretty heavy, but, you know. Next thing I'm going to do is going to look at the interior. So real quick, throw down some interior floors. I just think they look so much nicer on the interior of ships. So that's what I'm going to do. throw down those interior floors. Do that like that. I'm not going to bother doing that too much out here. We will do that here, just to make the ship feel a bit more cozy. And then we're going to add some lights as well. So nothing too fancy. Pop a light there. Pop a light there. Pop a light there. Grab the lights. I like to turn up to 10. Fall off to 1. Intensity to 1. I usually just leave them white. Like that. And you get a pretty decent lighting setup. So that's cool and good. Now this looks a bit meh. So we want to build it into the hull probably a little bit more. That is going to be way easier said than done. Let's think about this here. There we go. Not much thinking was needed, as it turns out. And then we're going to do that as well, because I don't know, I kind of like the sprayers. Looks like it's getting rid of all the rock and shit off you when you're mining. So let's just grab our little ship, whiz over here, not crash. Oh, see if we can land it nicely here. No. No, no, no. Needs to be another block. You need to be able to get out of the ship and, you know, actually do stuff, I think, for it to be a good landing pad. Do something like that. Back it up. Right, so now you can walk around to the front of the cockpit, you can walk around the back of the ship, you can, you know, weld it up, do whatever. You head inside, you got your living quarters, you got your airlock where you can head out to, you know, either side if you dock to a station, or you dock in the miner and you want to quickly jump in, you don't want to go to the landing pad, or if you're carrying other ships. You come in here, you got your pressurized bridge, you got a bridge there, probably add a helm for a co-pilot maybe. We'll add a programmable block just as decoration there, and then I'm also going to add a couch, some plants, just like a little seating area. I don't know, don't really want it to be like a miserable bridge. Add a desk in front of the programmable block, just bring the ship to life a little bit. I feel like that helm should be on the other side. What do you mean? There you go. Don't be silly. So yeah, just, you know, give the bridge a little bit of spice, a little bit of pizzazz. This is just the airlock, obviously. There's not a whole lot that I would comfortably do in here. I'd maybe add some railings, you know, just for the sake of using up those blocks, just as a little bit of extra detail. In here, could add a plant. It's going to obstruct the view of, you know, the outside, but I think it gives it some life. I don't really know. Add an LCD to this container here. Don't really need anything there. We could actually have a shelf. Why not? Store some extra components. Very handy for a mining ship. Or we could have a text panel. Let's see which one looks better. Yeah, I think a text panel looks better. And then we'll just stick some standard, I don't know, clock. No, don't want a script. Let's get some propaganda. Bright future. That's a good one. Where is it? There you go. Bright future. Happy days. Smile. Come outside, got a ship here, bada bing, bada boom. So there's a couple of rough edges we need to iron out still. But for the most part, that's the ship. She's ready to rock. So now, let's address the rough edges. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this, do that, make it look like it's being held on a little bit better. I kind of want to do something. No, that. No. We're going through some pretty radical design choices here. I don't know if I like it. That could work. Don't know about here though. Yeah, actually, because it kind of looks like it's, you know, strapped together like any ship that you would want to board would have. We could also do some catwalks. Do we want to just use the regular ones? Just like that, coming out. You know, so when you dock up, you've got a nice walkway to walk into the ship. Yeah, I think that works. And then we're going to get some piston heads here, like we did in the last episode. And I'm just going to cover up all of these horrible, pokey outy yellow bits, like that. Okay, cool. Could we add some fins? I do like a fin. Kind of want to go in the other way though. Oh, looks stupid. Looks stupid. I don't know. Maybe a bit. No, I don't know if it works on a ship like this. I really don't. It would have to be 2 blocks. And I think it would look better if it was like more like a canard. No, that just looks daft. You see, this is why you got to try things, right? You got to give them a go and see how they look. But that wouldn't work at all, so I'm not going to do that. Do you want anything up there? It's kind of looking a bit empty up top. What can we put there? How can I greeble this? I know Omega could probably give me 300 different ways I could greeble this, but how do I want to greeble this? Do I want to greeble it? A really simple way of adding a little bit of greeble might just be doing that. You see how simply it sort of opens up the nacelles? It's like a really where did that block go? It's like a really small thing, but you know, I think it definitely adds depth to the nacelles at the back. I think it looks kind of cool actually. So yeah, sweet. Let's get painting. So for landing strips, I like to do like a light grey as well. So you see how that immediately now screams that it's a landing pad. Actually, what we're going to do first is do that. Just replace everything with yellow. Landing pads I typically like to make grey. So we'll do something like that. And then bodywork I also like to be grey, but it's a bit tricky. Like the structural bodywork I mean, and then like the panels on top to be yellow. But obviously it's a bit tricky with a ship like this. I don't really know what that's going to look like. Oh! Not bad, actually, as it turns out. So that needs to be grey. It's all structural, so it's grey. That's grey. Grab all this as well. This is all going to be grey, I think. Get that pesky conveyor there. Obviously, these nacelles aren't held on by an awful lot. That's something that I might fix real quick, actually. Because blast doors are basically invincible. Tempted to just leave it like that, you know. Maybe put another one at the rear as well. Because you know how much punishment those things can take. Like, god damn. They can take a lot of punishment. Okay, cool. And we're going to paint everything grey. That's the same as last time, basically. Anything that's a main component, we're going to paint grey here. That. Paint these for now. I like to paint the floors grey as well. But we'll have to see what it looks like from the outside. Obviously, chances are we're going to have to make a compromise. But, you know, if we have to, then so be it. Make sure we're getting the lights. Don't forget the lights. Bridge as well. We don't want that yellow. That we're actually going to leave yellow because I just like to signify that it's the main cockpit. That needs to be grey. Cool, so you see how that simple splash of colour has brought this ship to life already. It already looks pretty good, actually. You're going to make this antenna array grey as well. And this is all structural stuff. Obviously these are all panels, but this... I kind of tempted to leave it yellow. Because you can't really see it if it's grey. And I want to be able to see those struts. Okay, cool. Let's do some white. So I have a white stripe here. Like that. And also, we're probably going to do another one here. Like that. And then, fuck it, we'll do one on the nacelles as well. This one, maybe? Yeah, I think that works. And then I'm also just going to add like a little, I don't know, fin thing on the back here. It just looks a little bit flat. Obviously that's bodywork. A little something. Obviously the top is a bit bare. But yeah, I kind of like it. It kind of contrasts because, you know, the top simple, and then we've got like complex machinery going on down here. So I think it kind of contrasts quite well. There's not a lot I would be looking to throw up there. It's not something that massively bothers me really either. Paint all this yellow. Make sure it's all yellow. Sweet! So we've got a camera, you've got an antenna, you've got power, batteries, You can dock your mining ship there. You got 3 large cargo containers. You got plenty of storage. Obviously, there's no jump drive because this is like an early game thing. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing I would potentially do is, what am I typing right now? Is add some external lights. So I'd probably add a couple on the landing pad like that. Then I'd also probably add a light on the front like that, and then I'd look to have a light here, but I can't fit one there, and I'd also have a light on the top. So if we just name that, no, I don't want that. Hang on, no, that's not what I want. Click on it. There we go. So I would probably name that blinker. And then if we just make that blink every 3 seconds, it's just something that I do to help, like, you know, see ships. Like if you see something flash, takes your eye to it. Kind of looks nice, nice little touch. Then the front lights I usually just leave white. So if you see, you know, a ship from a distance and there's like a white light there, you're like, alright, okay, that's the front. You know, you can do that with the port and starboard or not. Landing pad lights, I usually just leave them white, maybe turn up the radius a little bit, make them a bit darker, just to help you when you're trying to land the ship, right? When you're trying to touch down with your little miner, it'll make it a bit easier. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, I'm pretty chuffed with how this thing came out. You know, obviously then you'd want to be giving it a name, you'd want to be, I'm just going to push this out one more block. You want to be going through the control panel, tidying everything up, assigning groups, sorting out the front control seats, etc. But I'll leave that all up to you. If this video helped at all, if you found it interesting watching me go through the build process, please let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, take care, everybody.